Welcome to part 2 of this Football Manager 2018 experiment, where we're having a look to see if Saudi Arabia can win the World Cup with Messi and Ronaldo. In part 1 we simulated the 2018 World Cup 5 times, and the furthest we saw Saudi Arabia get was the second round, where they were disappointingly knocked out by Morocco in the end, who managed to get through to that stage. Messi was injured for the 4th simulation, which affected how many goals he scored. I guess he got 11 across the 5 simulations, with Ronaldo getting 14. Only 3 assists between them, so creativity is a problem, I think, for Saudi Arabia. They're relying on other players rather than utilising Messi and Ronaldo. So I'm going to simulate the World Cup 5 more times in this simulation. Hopefully we will see Saudi Arabia go a bit further. So in the first simulation of the day, or the 6th simulation overall, we saw Germany beat Brazil in this final 3-2. Looks like a cracking final, but let's have a look to see how Saudi Arabia got on then. Did they get past the group stage this time around? No, in fact, 0 points. Is that the worst we've seen yet? I think they've at least got 1 point previously. They didn't even score a single goal. With Messi and Ronaldo, they didn't score a single goal. What tactics are they playing? That's just ridiculous. What are you doing? Where's Messi? Is he injured again? Is Messi... he was injured for the last game, I suppose, looking at it. But Ronaldo up front, even he couldn't score. They actually got a 2-2 draw in the friendlies against Spain, with Ronaldo getting 2 goals, but 6-0 loss against Germany, not good. 3-0 loss against Egypt, 2-0 loss against Uruguay, and a 2-0 loss against Russia. Messi got injured in the Uruguay game and he didn't take part in the Russia fixture. Absolute disaster of a campaign from Saudi Arabia. 7th simulation then, France beat Switzerland 2-0 in the final. Switzerland did very well to get through to the final, but have Saudi Arabia improved upon that dismal performance in the last simulation? Let's have a look and see. 1 point. They scored goals though. They got a 2-2 draw against Egypt. They lost 2-1 against Russia and 5-2 against Uruguay. But at least they managed to score goals. That's the main thing, isn't it? Once again, losses in the friendlies, as you would expect. But against Egypt, 2-2 draw, not bad. Messi got a 95th minute penalty. They came from 2 goals down, so that's a very good draw. But unfortunately, against Uruguay, they were blown away. Messi did get a goal in the 55th minute. And then against Russia, he scored another penalty. I'm surprised Messi's taken the penalties over Ronaldo, if I'm honest. Is Ronaldo injured this time? I think Ronaldo's... No, he got injured in the first game. So that's why Messi took the penalties, I presume. And also why perhaps they failed in the next 2 games without their main striker. So, yeah, big blow. Messi ended up playing up front because Ronaldo wasn't around for the last 2 games. I'm certainly not expecting Saudi Arabia to win the World Cup. Not at all. Spain beat Portugal 2-0 in the final of this one. I'm just hoping Saudi Arabia can finish 3rd in the group, let alone get out the group. It's just ridiculous, really. But it just shows that even with Ronaldo and Messi, the 2 best players in the world, just plonking them into a team like Saudi Arabia, it's not going to transform them. They finished 3rd. That's... Yes, joyous scene. Saudi Arabia finish above Egypt on goal difference after getting 1 draw. They drew 2-2 against Egypt. They lost 2-0 against Russia and 1-0 against Uruguay. Only 2 goals scored. So if anything, it's more disappointing than the last one. But anyway, let's see how Messi and Ronaldo got on. Losses in the friendlies. Messi did get a goal against Germany. Then against Egypt, a goal each. A penalty for Ronaldo, and Messi scored in the 62nd minute to come from 2 goals down against Egypt. Salah scored in this one. But Uruguay and Russia, just disappointing. They didn't concede a huge number of goals, but in fact Messi got injured in the second game and was only barely... I think he had a half injury going into the 3rd game, so that wasn't ideal for them. Injuries have been a problem for these players, but overall they've just been disappointing as a team, I suppose. Messi played up front with Ronaldo on the wing in the last game anyway. So in the 9th and penultimate simulation, Argentina beat France in the final of this particular World Cup. Did Saudi Arabia get out the group this time? Please, please. No, but they got 4 points. It's an improvement. They managed to win a game in this one. They beat Uruguay 4-2 and drew against Egypt 3-3, but they lost against Russia 1-0 and that put them out. But they scored. They had a +1 goal difference. It's a miracle. It really is. I'm so pleased that they managed to score goals as well. Ronaldo with a hat-trick against Egypt. What a game that is. And then against Uruguay, 4-2. We saw a goal from Ronaldo, a goal from Messi and 2 goals from other players. And then against Russia, that was disappointing, really. But it's I'm pleased to see a bit of progression this time around. We've got one more simulation to see if they can get out that group. Tactically, once again, Messi behind Ronaldo. I just feel like if they did something different, obviously the manager's always going to play the same tactic, but if we had a different manager in charge, if I was in charge, if you were in charge, what would you do? Just in case I do a series where I manage Saudi Arabia with Messi and Ronaldo, what would you play? What sort of tactics would you play? Let me know in the comment section below. And finally, the last simulation. What a final this is! Germany 7, Argentina for the greatest ever World Cup final. Argentina without Messi, remember. Aguero, Higuain and Di Maria of the goals. But Germany, 7 goals. 3 goals in extra time. What a ridiculous game. I want to see that final. That would be just incredible if that ever happened. But let's have a look. The last chance for Saudi Arabia to get out the group. And they did it. They finished second in the group with 4 points. They managed to get a win against Egypt 3-1, a draw against Russia 0-0. They lost against Uruguay 4-1. But they did get out of the group with a -1 goal difference. You'll notice that they lost against Spain in the next round. That's kind of given that away. As you can see here, 3-0 defeat. But they got to the second round for a second time. So 2 second round eliminations out of 10. I don't think that's too bad. Maybe you were probably thinking with Messi and Ronaldo, they can go all the way. If it was real life, could Messi and Ronaldo drag Saudi Arabia out the group and far into the competition? Or would their defence just be too weak and Messi and Ronaldo just wouldn't be able to outscore the opposition by themselves? And would Messi and Ronaldo play together chemistry wise? Would they pass to each other? I don't know. I'd hope that they would if they're on the same team. Let's have a look then to see who scored the most goals in the tournament for these two, out of these two players. In the first game, Ronaldo scored 1 and Messi scored 2 to beat Egypt 3-1. We saw Messi score against Uruguay, and that was the last goal of the tournament. They actually only scored 4 goals in the tournament, unfortunately, because there was a 0-0 draw against Russia, and of course they didn't score against Spain. But that's how it ends. We saw Messi didn't actually play in the game against Spain by the looks of it. Was he injured? He got injured in the last group game. So they were without Messi going up against Spain, so that was a problem. But overall, I feel like this is probably what I expected deep down. I was, in the heart, you're just thinking, Saudi Arabia with Messi and Ronaldo, they're going to get dragged out the group. They're going to get dragged all the way to the final by Messi and Ronaldo alone. And then it'll be an incredible hat-trick or something from one or the other. And they'll win the World Cup. But realistically, that wasn't going to happen. Unfortunately, it's ended up being a disappointing result to this experiment out of the 2 parts. But I'm going to give it a go of Tunisia, who I think there might be more of an opportunity there. I feel like their defence will be more solid. I think they could probably go one better and get to the quarterfinals. So yes, that will be the next Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo experiment. Hope you're looking forward to that. But we'll have a look at the spreadsheet to see how things finished. And here we go then. So they finished 3rd in the group twice, 4th in the group 6 times, 2nd in the group once, 1st in the group once, and obviously knocked out in the second round twice by different nations. Overall, I'm surprised really. I thought Ronaldo was going to run away with the goals, but despite Messi playing in a more withdrawn role most of the time, he managed to get 19 goals, with Ronaldo getting 20 from the striker position primarily. But I'm really surprised by the fact Messi he didn't create anything. He only got 2 assists. Like I said, I think most of the assists were coming from the wide players with Saudi Arabia. Ronaldo managed to get 5 assists playing up front, probably heading it down to Messi or someone like that, laying it off for Messi or another player. Yeah, that's interesting. But I guess overall we can say on average, Ronaldo got 2 goals a tournament. Messi almost got 2 goals a tournament, which isn't too bad considering they were knocked out in the group stages on 8 occasions. Interesting stuff. Obviously injuries were a problem. We did see Messi get injured for that second round match against Spain as well, which wasn't ideal, and he was injured for an entire tournament in the 4th simulation. Ronaldo was pretty much injured for the entire tournament in the 7th simulation. But I hope you enjoyed this experiment nonetheless, despite the fact it was, I guess, a disappointing outcome. But we're not always going to have idealistic outcomes to these experiments, are we? Such is life. But until next time, enjoy FM18, enjoy the World Cup. I'll see you very soon.